Dong patas. Lagi mong inuuna kung anong dapat. Hindi mo kayang malunok ang katotohanang marami pa rin tayong kababayang gutom at walang tahanan. Kaya hindi ka tumigil sa paglaban. Harapin ang kahirapan. Tulungan ang nangangailangan. Basagin ang korupsyon na kanilang nakasanayan. Sa loob at labas, man ng Pinas, bakas na bakas ang iyong tapang puksain ang mga problema ng bansa. Gamit ang lakas, gamit ang isip, gamit ang puso. Kung para sa mamamayang Pilipino, si MP, wala yang sinisino. Manny Pacquiao.
Valoria goes left. Valoria flips it up and in!
So Orlan Lamar, but Lamar gets the step and the finish.
Hail Mary. June Manzo will fire.
Oh my goodness!
June Manzo all the way from
Serrano, Bebuelo, Serrano with the basket. Fuentes, no hesitation, gets it to go!
No!
Obisto, yeah! Jason Obisto with the putback!
The venue for your 2023 All-Star Day is once again the venue for our Monday triple header dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. We are live from the Bataan People's Center in Balanga City in Bataan. Earlier, we witnessed our first game between the Zamboanga Sikat and the Sarangani Gripper. Here we have another Southern Division showdown between the Cebu Classic, which features Boom Boom Tampos. Had a spectacular game, getting them from 19 points down against the Caloocan Batang Kakulu in their first game. They will go up against Diego Dario and the Quezon Huskers dito sa ating pangalawang laro dito sa Bataan People Center. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Javi Balanya, joined by Coach Mike Perez. Coach Mike, this is another exciting matchup between two Southern Division teams. Pero itong Cebu, they're coming back this year. At itong Quezon, the reigning Southern Division champions. How do you think this matchup will pan out?
I think one thing that's interesting dito sa larong ito, Diego Dario and Boom Boom Tampos, those two new guards and new faces that we're seeing this season, very promising for the league as well.
Of course, you also have the third member of our broadcast panel, Ms. Mika Abisamis, joining us from courtside. Mika, how are you?
You know, Javi, Coach Mike, both teams coming off big wins. Sabi ni Coach June De Jose, it was really the demeanor of his boys in the fourth quarter that set them up for that win. At doon din daw nila talagang na-discover itong budding tandem ni Tampos and Manliguez in the backcourt. Para naman dito kay Coach Eric Gonzalez, he said, yes, Mika, we started the season right. We won big against Batangas, but those are just numbers. That was just one win. He doesn't believe much also in upsets. He said it will really be who will make it from start to end, maglalabas ng effort. And he said, this Cebu team could be a strong contender in the South. Have you, Coach Mike?
Possibly a dark horse dito sa ating Southern Division. Kaya naman tingnan natin ating team standing sa ating Southern Division. This is gonna be such an open race this year, especially with newcomers like Cebu in Basilan coming back here into the Southern Division and making it harder for teams like Quezon to advance into the national championship.
I think what's interesting here is you already have Zamboanga and Rizal already leading the pack here with two wins apiece. Samantalang itong mga other teams that's gonna play today, Quezon, Gensa, and then as well as Cebu, would try to keep that winning streak heading into more in the season.
Ang para sa iyo lang naman, Coach, especially for teams starting here this season, coming back like Cebu and Basilan, itong Cebu lalo na, you know, ang importante lang naman sa kanila, hindi sila maiwan.
Yes. Tsaka huwag magpapa-intimidate. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of pride from the players of Cebu and the Cebu team to be able to perform really good this season.
And they did just that against the Caloocan Batang Kakulu in their first game. They were down by as much as 19 points in this one, but they came back in the fourth quarter, outscored the Batang Kakulu 32-13. on the heels of the performance of Boom Boom Tapos, who scored all of his 16 points in the fourth quarter.
Agree, and that was a huge 32-point output. Katulad nga, sinabi mo, 16 doon ang galing dito sa kay Boom Boom Tapos. Total team effort, actually, yung panalo na yun. And the comebacking Cebu team had 5 players in double digits. And it really was about paint points and transition basketball, giving them a stunning win para sa team nilang Cebu.
Coach Mike Reyes and Coach Jun Da Jose joining forces with Boss Volter Ora and trying to lead the Cebu Classic to a great finish here this season. Of course, itong Cebu, they will be going up against Quezon sa laro na to, and the Quezon Huskers opened up their season with a big victory against the Batangas City Tanduay Rum Masters sa home court ng Batangas City. 70-46 ang naging tala dito, Coach Mike.
Tell you what, it's relentless defense, total team effort, and Diego Dario starting strong those first 2 quarters. 13 points all in the first half, 8 in the first, 5 in the second, 2 of 3 from the field, from 3 points, and they had the biggest lead at 21. And the more important thing, yung shooting ng Batangas, only 22%, giving them only 14 field goals. Very unlikely of Batangas, and that's something that really Quezon brought to that in that game.
Many people were saying, this is one of the lowest scoring games they've seen in professional basketball. But Quezon is saying, we played spectacular defense, and they certainly did. They outscored Batangas City 9-20 in that third quarter after 28 and 24 at halftime. So wag na natin patagalin pa, Coach Mike. Let's get the show on the road. Let's get it to Miguel Pere for the starting lineups.
Inside the Bataan People's Center. Tonight's second game is between Cebu and Quezon. This is the 2025 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Season 7. Let's meet the starters, beginning with Cebu Classic. Starting at guard, number 6, Shaq Imperial. Also at guard, number 12, Rashawn McCarthy. Starting at center, number 19, Ken Holmqvist. Forward, number 42, Lian Martel. And the other forward, number 24, Dennis Santos. Cebu Classic is led by Voltaire Ora, with Mike Reyes, Jun Da Jose, Marlon Zambrano, and Jean Putong. Now, the starting 5 for the Quezon Huskers. Starting at center, number 5, Simon Sandagon. Forward, number 41, Joshua Yero. Also at forward, number 93, Vince Magbuhos. Guard, number 13, LJ Gonzalez. And at 2 guard, number 2, Judel Fuentes. The red coach is Eric Gonzalez. Assistant coaches Richie Tixon, Ed De La Torre, Luis Solasco, Jonathan De Guzman, Nash Rosella, Bernard Diguio, Anton Escolin, Jeric Tang, and Rex Baldeo. Team manager is Antonio.
Ang mangunguna sa laro na to para sa parehong kapunan, our starting 5 brought to you by 1xBet. Shaq Imperial, Rashawn McCarthy in the backcourt, joined by Kent Holmqvist, Lian Martel, and Dennis Santos. On the other side, the Huskers beginning things with LJ Gonzalez and Judel Fuentes, their great 1-2 punch, joined by Simon Sandagon, Vince Magbuhos, and Joshua Yero. A pair of former Adamson Soaring Falcons joining these Quezon Huskers in the starting lineup today. Of course, their former coach in Coach Nash Rosella, also part of the coaching staff of Coach Eric Gonzalez dito sa Quezon.
Kapag tinignan mo yung starting lineup nitong Cebu, talagang palag din no? But on the side, on Quezon's side naman, I like the addition of Vince Magbuhos and Ayero. Those two bring a new facet to the type of team that Quezon is.
Ball is up and the possession goes to the Huskers. Magbuhos, second season in the MPBL. Last year played for the Nueva Ecija Rice Vanguards. Fuentes, elbow jumper. Right away, Judel Fuentes nagpakilala sa Cebu.
Quick action right off a straight up triangle offense, corner option. You got that the banana cut by the guard and that corner screen, 2-man action.
Lian Martel with the rip through against Simon Sandagon. Probably the last person you would think would attempt something like that.
That's right. And pero ito si Lian Martel from last season, very important piece in the rotation of Coach Mike Sagigit when they went up, especially against Zamboanga in the playoffs.
Big part of why Parañaque was able to make that upset against JC Marcelino and company. There you see Coach Jun Jose.
In that win against Caloocan, Martel actually played for 30 minutes and had was 3 of 8 from the field. Scored what? I think 7 points in that game.
Oh, he was a +10 in that game.
Right?
All tied up at 2 apiece. Judel Fuentes handling the basketball off the glass, too strong. Dennis Santos, one of the guys na inaasahan mong pumuputok para dito sa Cebu Classic.
That's right.
And you feel like this is a game that he could bounce back in after a lackluster performance in that game against Caloocan. Gonzalez working the two-man game with Sandagon. 2 All-Stars last year para sa Quezon. Imperial into the lane. McCarthy from the outside. That's off to the right. Gonzalez off to Fuentes. Magbuhos on top. Hands it off back to LJ. Between the legs, Magbuhos trying to attack the defense of Martel. Loses it to Holmqvist.
Empty possessions back and forth so far in this rally. Wala pa nakakapuntos, no?
McCarthy, a little bit of hesitation on the left. Almost had that stripped away from him by Fuentes. It will stay with the Classic with 12 on their shot clock.
And there will be instances where Judel Fuentes is going to have a defend against bigger and stronger guards and wingmen. And that time around, he did a real good job of keeping close against McCarthy and tipping the ball out.
McCarthy on the curl. No shot available. He's stripped. That's going to be a foul against Quezon. Fuentes will be the guilty party.
Sa pagkakataon na yun, sinubukan namang kumuha ng bola sa likod nitong ni Judel Fuentes. He already got beat by McCarthy going that left side of the floor. A little bit crowded, so medyo na-bail out si McCarthy doon.
Holmqvist receives, Magbuhos on him. Holmqvist, hook shot, napalakas. Gonzalez sweeps in for the rebound. Quezon trying to break the tie. Magbuhos from the outside, nothing but bottom.
And that's one of the reasons why I really like this addition of Vince Magbuhos here sa Quezon. You know, not just for his big stat contribution, meaning rebounds and all. It's just the range that he has. Even when he played for Nueva Ecija, meron tayong glimpses nakikita niyan eh.
Martel way off on the three-point shot, trying to answer that three-pointer by Vince Magbuhos on the other side. Take a look at that again. The setup by LJ Gonzalez to Vince Magbuhos for that three-pointer. Nothing but net. LJ Gonzalez guarded here by Shaq Imperial. Receives a screen from Sandagon. Magbuhos relocates to the left wing. This time it's short for Vince. Imperial through the middle. Stopped there by Joshua Yero. Kaya lang matatawagan siya doon ng personal foul.
Joshua Yero had his hand up. Nabunggo ni Shaq Imperial, trying to influence the guys to go to his weak hand and force him to create from there. Kaya lang natawagan ng foul ito si Yero.
Imperial also started that game against Caloocan, but was only 1 out of 6 in that game. The tap goes to Fuentes. Magbuhos didn't go for the shot. Still a lot of time on the shot clock here for the Huskers. Fuentes, pass intercepted by Imperial. Cebu will slow things down. Shaq gets a screen from Martel. That ball was tapped. It will stay with the Classic with 11 on their 24.
So far, there's been no success para dito sa Cebu as they try to go the left side of the floor. That left side's been pretty much crowded para dito sa sa Cebu. The defense is really packed on that side of the floor for Quezon.
Hombis missing badly on that
Oh, man.
perimeter jumper. LJ Gonzalez quickly to the basket.
And I'm sure ito si LJ Gonzalez gustong bumalik ulit sa finals to be able to this time makuha. That's still a long way to go, but you know, preparation katulad ng sinabi ng mga coaching staff kanina and that report by Mika, you know, malayo pa to, but they will definitely be preparing for that situation if ever that opportunity presents itself.
Turnover para dito sa Cebu Classic. Rashawn McCarthy called for a walk. Take a look at this past play. LJ Gonzalez did not waste any time in finding the rack.
Catch and go, you know, put the ball on the floor, little low rip against McCarthy.
Gonzalez left wide open, this time from the outside. Hombis secures the defensive board. And Lian Martel unchecked underneath the basket.
Yeah, missed coverage right there by Vince Magbuhos. Lowest guy on that side of the fence is able to leak out and finish in transition.
Nice forward pass coming from Rashawn McCarthy, finding Lian Martel for the reverse. That brings Cebu to within 3 points, 7-4 here after struggling for a short period of time. 5 minutes and 31 remaining here in the first quarter.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% Pinas, 50 tayo, 50 si FB. Kahati mo si Manny.
Back at the Bataan People's Center here in Maharlika, Pilipinas Basketball League. My name is Mika Abesamis. Coach Eric Gonzalez and company lost to Mindoro and Bataan last season. Losses that they will never forget. So there's really no taking anyone lightly, as I mentioned. But this season, Coach Eric appreciates how the boys have gotten more comfortable with each other, passing the ball. He remembers one open look from Tamsi in their last game, but instead passed the ball to Diego Dario, who was having a spectacular game. Dito, nakita niya daw, my boys are already ready. And speaking of Diego, Coach Eric also appreciates the beauty of the packages he got this season. He said Diego is a package, Sarao is a package, Magbuhos is a package, Gabayni. He hopes that these packages could be good plug-ins to what is already a starting good chemistry. Javi and Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Mika. Well, those players that you just mentioned enforces what already is a good team para sa Quezon Huskers, the reigning Southern Division champions.
At saka kagandahan nun is yung mga players na to have post-up games. I feel that's one of the dimensions of their offense last year that they didn't have against against the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. And so to have this guy right here, Joseph Gabayni, even Lian Martel, Iero, Vince Magbuhos, you know, JP Sarao, those guys have post-up games that can help them a lot, especially when those threes are not going to fall.
Fuentes short on the 3. 7-4 is the score. Pumasok na dito si Daryl Manligues para sa Cebu Classic. Hombist. This is a good matchup against Joseph Gabayni. Hombist settles for the jumper, in and out.
Immediately pag nagmimintis itong Cebu, looking to run palagi ang itong Quezon.
One of the packages Mika mentioned, Diego Dario giving it to another package in Joseph Gabayni, missing from near the elbow. Manligues testing the metal of the defense of Diego Dario. Manligues draws the foul against the former Meralco Bulls.
And when Mika said about these packages, I mean, that just tells us na halos buo na yung composition ng team nito. That they're just plugging in different facets of their team with these new packages that they have. And I do agree talagang napakaganda ng mga player na na-pick up nila this season.
Daryl Manligues, 0 out of 3. 24 minutes in that game against Caloocan. But coach, 10 assists in that game.
That's right.
For the former Valenzuela player, including 4 steals.
Agree. And see Daryl is really a player that can, I mean, he's not going to score, he's going to help someone else score. And we see that a lot of times when he played for Valenzuela and all the different teams that he's played with.
We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Manligues goes 1 out of 2 from the line. 5 to 7 is the score.
At saka habang tindi ng kombinasyon nila ni Boom Boom Campos no? Talagang bilis, speed, and accuracy. See that one right here. Clearly, you know, when you talk about pace of the game, you have to mention Daryl's name.
Sean McCarthy finding Manligues for the score. We're all tied up at 7.
Solo side clear out on that side of the floor for Joseph to operate on.
Gabayni working on the defense of Ladis Lepalam. Gabayni asserting his might underneath.
Si Ladis ginagamit lang yung height advantage niya. Sinusubukang pigilan na lang sa taas. Malakas rin ang katawan ni Joseph pero tumama yung kanyang depensa na yun.
Diego Dario committing that turnover which leads to this Manligues basket off a pass from Rashawn McCarthy. First basket of the season para kay Daryl Manligues. Joseph Gabayni in that game against Batangas only scored 3 points, pulled down 6 rebounds, and had a block.
And sigurado yun hindi yun na magiging huli para dito kay Daryl. You know that there will be opportunities that we'll have to create, and if there's no one else that he can feed off, he can finish for them.
Manligues goes to Lepalam in the middle, back to Daryl. Manligues to Martel on the short corner. Lian Martel drains it from the baseline.
Non-paint twos, perimeter jumpers. Maasahan mo dyan si Liam Martel. He's been that way even when he played for Parañaque last season.
Cebu now in the lead by 3. Gab Banales checked in. Diego Dario lock and load. That's no good. Gabayni gets in between that pass. Picked up by Tamsi. Tamsi still has it. Gab Banal on the right side. Opiso hammered there by Daryl Manligues.
Yan ang ma-appreciate mo sa Quezon The willingness to share the ball. 1 dribble pass, 2 dribble passes, find an open teammate. Just catch and go, catch and go. Keep attacking until you find the least guy that's guarded.
Mark Meneses will see action for the first time para dito sa Cebu Classic. Alongside Brian Mendoza off the bench. This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. The former Marikina shoe master Jason Opiso missing on the first try from the charity stripe. He had 6 points and 8 rebounds in that game against the Tanduay Rum Masters.
And of course, who would forget that Jason Opiso basket in the playoffs against Batangas, which stretched a do-or-die series with Batangas, which eventually they won and sent them to the national finals.
Manligues sees Lepalam off the glass, no good. Meneses tried to tap it back to Ladis. Sorry, no, that's Boom Boom Campos. He's now seen action here para sa Cebu Classic. 2 minutes and 26 remaining here in the first quarter. We're all tied up at 9.
Bang klase yung bundag ni Campos, ano? Really very athletic guy. Very deceiving yung kanyang frame.
They're trying to set up Gab Banal off of that 2-man game with Diego Dario. They drew the switch, which put Daryl Manligues on him.
And they knew immediately that that was a mismatch on Daryl because Gab's a little bit bigger and he's very comfortable playing on the post area. So positional advantage right there for Quezon.
Dario leaves
what
it
a
for
pass.
Gabayni. That's a walk against Joseph Gabayni.
Diego Dario able to draw 3 defenders before leaving it off for Joseph. Kaya lang, natawagan nga ng travel. Look at that. 4 players on him.
Just took an extra step before the attempt. Ito si Joseph Gabayni. Meneses, he's shown that he's more confident taking those threes.
Yeah, this season, I'm sure he's out to prove more his worth. And he played real well, gave quality role minutes for Pangasinan, but this time around, he wants more for this season.
Gabayni tried to drop it off underneath to Jason Opiso. That's picked up by Meneses. Mendoza, high looper of a jumper. That one's short. Gabayni colors it para sa Quezon.
Both teams really looking to run on every opportunity.
Banal waiting for Gabayni. Banal having trouble with it. Gives it to Joseph. Gabayni off the glass and in.
Isa na sa pinaka mga active on his feet, lalo na inside the paint, itong si Joseph Gabayni. His body frame and his strength allows him to finish through tough contacts like those.
Getting the foul there against Ladis de Palam. Gabayni breaking the deadlock here. This could not complete a three-point play, but Jason Apiso grabbing that offensive rebound and sticking it back in.
And you look at these three bigs that they have right now for Quezon. Gab Banal, Jason Apiso, and Joseph Gabayni. All of them very capable of getting offensive rebounds.
And on the other side, quickly, Daryl Manliguez trying to get those 2 points back. Trying to post up Diego Dario. Huskers already over the limit. 59.9 seconds ang nalalabi dito sa ating first quarter. Topping Lagrama will check in for the first time para kay Diego Dario.
Quezon might have, in my opinion, one of the deepest point guard rotations.
Certainly, one of the deepest for sure.
Right. Topeng Lagrama, you've got Tamsi, you've got Abundo, you've got Diego Dario, you got LJ Gonzalez. Those guys can be a point guard and a wingman scoring for you anytime.
13-11. Dalawa ang abante dito ng Quezon. Lagrama pinapahirapan ni Daryl Manliguez. Lagrama, the crossover to the left. Tamsi fakes the three. Couple of dribbles. Back to Topeng. Lagrama for three. That one's short. Gabayni, the offensive rebound. Gabayni, bounce pass. No, that's picked off. Tamsi recovers. And there's a foul. Laban kay Daryl Manliguez. That's a block.
Kita mo yung awareness ng bawat team, ano? Rebounds, blocks, getting to deflections, you know.
Coach Eric Gonzalez inserts Vince Magbuhos back into the fold. Gabayni will take a seat on the bench. Alfrancis Tamsi is our guest on the line.
Times in that game didn't score in the match. It's 0 out of 2 from 3. Had a couple, played for about 13 minutes. And definitely kung leadership ang hinahanap mo, lalo na from last year, it was Tamsi along with Abundo who brought that experience with them, and LJ really was the prime point guard.
Early shot right there by the Classic, and now it's time for Quezon to probably write the final sentence of this first chapter.
Yeah, last shot of the quarter here for the Huskers.
Lagrama has the basketball. Magbuhos sets the screen. The pocket pass to Vince. Short corner jumper from Jason Apiso misses. The Classic had one last heave. Beneses could not get it to go, and that's going to do it for the first 10 minutes of action. Both teams going at it here in the first 10 minutes, Coach Mike.
Yep, shooting 31 and 25% respectively. Quezon and Cebu has the struggle on the three for both. So only Quezon was able to make a three. Pero yung rebounds, kita mo clearly advantage para dito sa Quezon. They have 4 more rebounds than that of Cebu.
Of course, Joseph Gabayni getting a lot of offensive rebounds, a couple of them in that first quarter. Daryl Manliguez finally scoring his first MPBL basket of the season para sa Cebu Classic after going scoreless against the Batang Kangkalu. Joseph Gabayni, 3 points in that first quarter to help his Huskers retain the lead at 3 at the end of 1, 14-11.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Kanyi Pagyaw. Para sa 100% Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MD! Hati mo, si Manny!
Back here at the Bataan People's Center, we'd like to take a look at our MPBL leadership led by our Commissioner, Captain Marbel Kenneth Duremdes. Of course, third nominee of our MPBL party list. He's joined by Operations Head Emerson Oreta and Security Chief Rudy Distrito. We are live on Solar Sports every Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays beginning at 6 o'clock p.m. Abby Balanya on the call, joined by Coach Mike Perez and Miss Mika Abisami's second quarter now underway between Quezon and Cebu. Both teams starting off on the right foot to begin their seasons, winning their first games of the year. 3 out of 13 from the field for Cebu in that first quarter. Quezon not at all better at 5 and 17.
That's right. Pero napakaraming very makeable shots for Quezon earlier, which just couldn't fall in.
They move the ball around, talking about the Huskers. Fuentes, one dribble to the side, pulls up for 3 and sprays it home.
That ball moved east to west for Quezon until it found the hands of Judel Fuentes. As a matter of fact, he even had to make a shot fake before making that shot attempt.
Brian Mendoza, ill-advised jumper from the right wing. Lagrama now pushing it once again para sa Quezon. Fuentes, hesitation, gives it up to Gabanal. Magbuhos prefers they move the ball around more. This time he takes the shot. Vince Magbuhos long on the three-pointer. Cebu down by 6. Meneses
Good.
tried to get it to Sak Imperial on the left side, but that's picked off. Opiso playing
Oh,
ping pong with Vince Magbuhos.
How fluid was that? I mean, that ball never touched the floor. And just guys passing the ball around, moving it from the back into the front and trying to quickly get into transition until Jason Opiso finished it off.
It started with Judel Fuentes. Look at that. And then Opiso giving it up to Magbuhos. Back to Jason. And those 3 guys are featured as our play of the game, brought to you by 1xBet. The Huskers up by 8, 19-11.
Para sa 100% pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100% Pinay,
50 tayo. 50 si MP. Hati mo si Manny.
Judel Fuentes and the Quezon Huskers up by 8 points right now against the Cebu Classic against Batangas. Judel only had 9 points on 3 out of 11 shooting, but had a little bit of everything in that game para sa kanyang kupunan.
Because he stayed active defensively. I mean, yung mga defensive coverages niya, hindi naman solo lang ginagawa niya. He just keeps on being part of that defensive scheme for Quezon.
Tonight, 5 points, 4 rebounds so far para kay Judel Fuentes. 1 out of 2 from three-point country. There's a foul against Opiso as he tried to hold down Mark Meneses on the catch. Wala pang 2 minuto, nakakalipos dito sa ating pangalawang yugto. Lian Martel will check back into the game. Brian Mendoza will go back to the bench.
So far, a little bit of a slow start para dito kay Tampos. Unlike his start on the first game in the third quarter, where he scored 16 of that total 32 by Cebu en route to that win against Caloocan.
Tampos from the left wing reintroduces himself to the MPBL.
Let me tell you what, when kayo nagko-cover ni Sedelf, no?
Yeah.
Nung game na yun, when you were covering that game and you mentioned about Airboom Tampos, I immediately looked it up. And I mean, it's been all over the place. He's a legend in Cebu.
Panalay legend itong si Boom Tampos. And here he is pulling down that rebound, leading the break here for the Classic. They're down by 5.
And because of that, teams now, especially Quezon, who gets a first crack at Tampos after that really good game against Caloocan, they're trying to make it difficult for him now. He's a marked man.
Meneses to his weak hand, trying to finish with his strong hand. Wala pa rin. Martel could not save it, ran out of space there. This three-point shot of the game is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances, coming off that 16-point outburst against the Caloocan Batang Kangkalu. Boom Boom Tapos knocking down his first 3 points of this game.
Look at all that ball in man movement right there.
Banal fakes out 2 defenders and goes up, just could not finish those 2 points. He will go to the line for 2 free throws.
And that curl under replace on the post up from the weak side to the strong side by Gabanal after Topeng Lagrama cleared that side of the floor. Really just allowed him to catch that ball on the post where he operates comfortably.
4 points, 8 rebounds, couple of assists for Gabanal against Batangas in their season opener. Knocks down the first free throw. Gabanal, a former MVP here in the league with the Bacoor City Strikers. Even though he hasn't been posting up the same numbers during his MVP year, he still is a threat para dito sa Quezon.
Yeah, lalo na pinag-usapan mo yung mga intangibles. I mean, the experience and the leadership, clearly, veteran leadership, they will always look for Gab. And he's one piece that they missed clearly in the finals against Pampanga. He was not available in that series.
Shaq Imperial misfires from the outside. Sandagon soars for the rebound.
Look at the pengo.
Quezon in transition. Banal from downtown. No good. Tampus, another board to his name.
That's a shot they're very much willing to take. A 3 out of transition.
Martel trying to spin to the middle. Gives it up to Meneses. Mark hands it off to Tampus. Tampus takes it top of the circle 3. Might have been a hurried shot.
Yeah.
Galing kay Boom Boom Tampus.
Didn't have enough balance.
Quezon up by 6. Magbuhos.
That's too
Trying to
loud.
find Sandagon inside. That's going to be a turnover laban sa Huskers.
At saka bilis ng recognition rin ng Quezon. I guess that's their offensive principle that no 2 big men could occupy the same spot, meaning yung isa nasa low post, yung isa nasa high would rise up. And so that allows more room underneath for the lower guy to operate and for the big man to be able to be facilitating from the top.
Early entry in here para kay Dolan Adlawan, one of the homegrown players of the Cebu Classic. Coach Junda Jose and his squad opting to play small ball here.
I don't think there's ever been a point through all these substitutions na ginawa ng Quezon na makikita mong medyo humina, no? Hindi, you don't feel it. I mean, every part that they replace is almost like the same piece. And again, it goes back to the packages that they got.
Fuentes missing from the left wing. Another rebound para kay Boom Boom Tampus. Tampus sprays it out to Martel. McCarthy asking for it. McCarthy turns the corner. Draws the foul. Laban kay LJ Gonzalez.
And it's really going to be tough as you see Coach Eric trying to show them how to defend that movement by McCarthy. You really just got to stay down low because you've already forced into his weak hand. And you just trust that where the help is going to come from. You don't have to foul him.
Meneses to Adlawan. 5 on the shot clock. He had to take it. Too strong there. Gonzalez pushing it. Fuentes almost traveled behind the back. Judel gets it back. Screen from Gabayni. Tampos and Adlawan on him. Corner pocket 3 from Miero. That one's short. The tap going to Sandagon. Fuentes, this time he will not hesitate. That one's long. Martel grabs the board.
They've had attempts, but you've never seen multiple dribbles for Quezon. And what's important is for Cebu, they're within striking distance. They're down only 6.
McCarthy to the corner. Tampos has time. Tampos could not hit. The Huskers in transition.
man.
Fuentes finishing the 2 points.
How quick was that? Almost looking like a fly-out situation for Judel Fuentes. After defending, you go out, peek out in transition, trusting that your teammate will get that to you on the rebound.
Almost no dribble again para sa Quezon on that last fast break attempt.
Ang laki na rin na naging maturity talaga ni LJ Gonzalez. And it's a scary opportunity for other teams to go up against LJ this season.
This is the assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet. Jadel Fuentes, the beneficiary of that play. 22-14 is the score. 4 minutes and change remaining in the first half. Dennis Santos is back inside for the Cebu Classic. Trying to regain his scoring touch in this one. Up against Joshua Yero. Martel has to put it up. Shot clock winding down. And what about Lian Martel bailing them out?
But the thing is, how much more can Cebu survive with just 3 players scoring on field goals? It's Martel, you have Manligues, as well as Tampos. Those are the only 3 guys that's been scoring. And against a powerhouse of a team in Quezon, you got to find others, just like that man right there. Denny Santos got to start scoring. But the thing is, it's the defense that's making it difficult for him to create, just like how they did for Batangas.
Lian Martel right here beating the buzzer with that shot from beyond the arc.
That even was a 9-1-1 basket. I mean, he really, whether it goes in or not, he had to hoist it. But we have to see, if you're from Cebu, you have to see other players scoring right now.
There was a stoppage. Both teams went back to their respective benches. I'm not sure why. Coach Eric Gonzalez is trying to argue something.
Yeah, there's some argument that they're saying. We'll see what's that about.
Oh, dribbling violation against LJ Gonzalez.
And right now, Coach Nash is the one pleading their point to the officials.
I think Coach Nash is trying to tell them that Coach Eric wants our officials to review that last play, that Lian Martel basket.
Ah, okay. If he got the shot off in time.
Yeah, or maybe if it was really a three-point shot.
Three-point shot, right.
And nonetheless, Cebu will take possession here after that dribbling violation by LJ Gonzalez, 22-17.
No, they couldn't even get to the shuffle cut of Denny Santos.
Ompis from downtown, still nothing coming from the former FEU Tamarao.
Almost every possession has been almost like that. Seems like it for Cebu.
Gravera sidestep to the basket, wala. Tampos has picked up a number of rebounds in this game. That's number 4 para sa kanya. Tampos gets it to Santos. Dennis to the middle.
Yeah.
Santos to the cup.
Yeah. And that situation on a catch and shoot and a shot fake, defense flies by. 1 dribble, 2 dribbles inside going to the right, strong hand. Kaya ni Denny Santos yan.
Dennis Santos finally getting on the board after going 0 out of 6 against Caloocan in their last game. The Classic with a chance to get to within 1, maybe even tie with a 3-point shot.
Yeah.
Humpist on to Martel. Martel drives baseline. Martel draws the foul on Joseph Gabayni. What about Lian Martel being very aggressive offensively, Coach Mike?
I agree. Currently 9 points in the game, going 3 out of 4 from the field. And I love, at least for the last 2 to 3 possessions, I love the pace that Cebu is playing, making that defense play, a little bit more of effort sa side ng Quezon.
Martel currently the leading scorer in this game for the Cebu Classic with 9 points sa laro na to.
And one thing that they can really do is that if you see Joseph Gabayni closing out on you from the perimeter and you're a wingman or a guard and he closes out on you, best way is really to put the ball on the floor and make that speed advantage on your end, which is exactly what Martel did.
Simon Sandagon magbabalik dito para kay Joseph Gabayni. Lian Martel is our guest at the charity stripe.
Well, Martel did have 7 points last game.
We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Well, he's outdone himself already in this game.
Right.
9 points already, and we're just in the first half.
And more importantly, na-nurse niya yung foul niya kasi last game he had 4 fouls in that game, so medyo hindi na siya magamit ng masyado defensively.
First guy in double figures sa laro na to, 10 points para kay Lian Martel, the former Parañaque Patriot. Sandagon shovels a pass. Gap Banal had time. That one's short. Cebu now on the run. Trailing is Martel.
Ganda
They
ng
go to
lead.
Holmqvist, who was sealing. There's a foul against Simon Sandagon. I think nag-abot pa itong dalawa sa FEU eh. Si Kent Holmqvist at
talaga?
si Simon Sandagon. If I'm not
Oh,
mistaken,
okay.
I'm gonna have to check.
But I love that seal action underneath for Holmqvist. Really quick read by Liam Martel.
Santos pops out, fakes the three, one dribble inside, and is Santos short. Holmqvist taps it to Tamsi, another former FEU Tamarao. Tamsi to Gonzalez. Lots of former FEU players on the floor in this game.
He wants him to stay on the corner. He's gonna attack lane side here.
Gonzalez attacks right, goes to Banal. Sandagon puts it up. That's a miss. Imperial collars it. He wants everybody to go down. Imperial to McCarthy.
Good stop.
Rashan to Holmqvist. Holmqvist trying to assert his will. That's last touch on Tamsi.
Laki ng in-improve ng pace ng Cebu, at least for the recent mga offensive nila.
Timeout taken here on the floor. Quezon only up by 2 points, 22-20.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, 15 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong Pinay,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Hati mo, si Manny!
LJ Gonzalez, 7 points against the Batangas City Tanduay Rum Masters. But he didn't really have to do a lot in that game. He had 3 assists and 3 steals. It was a total team effort for the Quezon Huskers sa laro na yun. Tonight, LJ with a couple of points, couple of rebounds, couple of assists.
Yeah, and he shared those minutes also with Diego Dario. You have to remember na yung first quarter na yun, first and second quarter rather, na magandang nilaro ni Diego Dario. So, na-share siya ng onte. And walang problema yan, I guess, with the rotation of Quezon because all the more talent that they have, all the more guys that can produce, they'd like to welcome that because in a long season, that helps you. Oh.
Almost a turnover. Holmqvist saves it to the wrong man. Gonzalez leaves it for Magbuhos, gets bumped, and Magbuhos will troop to the line for 2 shots.
Yan ang ma-appreciate mo kay Vince Magbuhos. May depensa, may range, tumatakbo ng transition, can get stops, and parang parang Simon Sandagon na hindi masyado, the dunk is different with Slam Dagon, but the range, man, the range that you're getting with Vince, diba? Imagine all the closeout he generates and leaving that paint open.
You just caught a glimpse of the Quezon Huskers coaching staff, of course, led by Coach Eric Gonzalez. Vince Magbuhos knocks down the second free throw. Makes this a 2-possession ball game with under a minute to play here in the first half. McCarthy calls out the play. Santos gets the handoff. Dennis back to Rashan. McCarthy having a hard time here against Tamsi. It's stolen by Gabanal. Magbuhos in the middle. Magbuhos all the way plus the foul.
Oh, wow. Have we not seen enough of Vince Magbuhos? 3 points earlier, a run with a fast break, and this time around, just showing us the spectrum of ways that Vince Magbuhos can help the Huskers this year.
You're saying not much athleticism. Well, he showed a little bit of athleticism on that finish. He completes the 3-point play. Vince Magbuhos making this a 7-point ball game. 26-19. Imperial hands it off to Santos. Martel to the right side, they go. McCarthy takes it. Sean McCarthy misses everything. Now time for the final shot of the half. The Huskers will try to go for it. Gonzalez, 6 seconds left. LJ
Oh, no.
kicks it out. Vince, extra pass,
Got
gets
one.
it back. Magbuhos for 3. No! That should have brought the house down. I'm sure the Huskers bench would have erupted.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna get that on the first slip. I mean, you had Holmquist on you. He's sagging off of it. But man, so far really good the first half, but Quezon's got control.
Olalis Lepalam and the Cebu Classic struggling towards the end of the second quarter. They were already within 2 points with LJ Gonzalez and company making sure that they have the 7-point cushion going into our halftime break. The score is 26-19. The Huskers up by 7.
Lagi mong sinisiguradong patas. Lagi mong inuuna kung anong dapat. Hindi mo kayang malunok ang katotohanang marami pa rin tayong kababayang gutom at walang tahanan. Kaya hindi ka tumigil sa paglaban. Harapin ang kahirapan. Tulungan ang nangangailangan. Basagin ang korupsyon na kanilang nakasanayan. Sa loob at labas, man ng Pinas, bakas na bakas ang iyong tapang puksain ang mga problema ng bansa. Gamit ang lakas, gamit ang isip, gamit ang puso. Kung para sa mamamayang Pilipino, si MP, wala yang sinisino. Manny Pacquiao.
Halftime now between the Quezon Huskers and the Cebu Classic. The score is 26-19. The Huskers have regained control of this game after Cebu threatened to take the lead in the second quarter.
Well, you see that right there. You get my number of attempts. It's a +5 in favor of Quezon because it's the rate and the pace at which they're playing the game, and they're sharing the ball more. You know, and they are +4 in terms of assists, and they're scoring a lot from the inside. A lot of that has to do with the offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities, and the bench has been really big help para dito sa Quezon. You have Opiso, Gabayni, leading the way with 8 of those 10 bench points. Samantalang dito sa Cebu Classics, you've got Daryl Manriquez and Campos. Those are the only guys that scored off the bench.
But both teams really having trouble putting points on the board. 27 and 21% respectively
Mababa.
from the field. But
Yeah.
that's how you see that the quality of this game is really high
Yeah.
para sa parehong koponan.
Yeah, I'd like to think based on the looks that they've got earlier, Quezon actually had a better look. Dahil mabigat yung depensa binibigay ng Quezon para dito sa Cebu eh. Pero kanina mga tirang dapat na pumasok na hindi lang namimik.
Judel Fuentes and Vince Magbuos leading the way for the Huskers with 7 apiece, while Opiso and Gabayni with 5 and 3 respectively. This has been another great team display for the Huskers in the first half of this game against the Cebu. The Classic only have 4 players scoring in this game. Yung 4 na yan na nakikita nyo, sila pala talaga ang pumupuntos para sa kanila. Meanwhile, let's go to Ms. Mika Abesames who has a report for us.
2 turnovers coming off a timeout and both converted, which means meron talagang problema sa familiarity itong Cebu Classic. So sabi ni Coach Jun Da Jose, kailangan talagang ayusin namin to at mas mag-stick sila sa system dahil nga hindi pa talaga nila kilala ang isa't isa sa court. Para naman dito sa Quezon Huskers, again, the plug-ins are working. Napag-usapan nyo nga magbuhos yung infusion ng plug-ins dito sa core ni Coach Eric na sila LJ Gonzalez is really working for him. Pero sabi nga niya, first to fourth ang energy. So tignan natin. Have you, Coach Mike?
Can they sustain it? That is the question that Coach Eric Gonzalez wants to find out in the Cebu Classic.
Yeah.
They're trying to get back into this game. Coach Jun Da Jose already mentioned in the report of Mika, said that he wants his players to stick more to the system.
Yeah.
Dahil nga yung familiarity not yet quite there para sa kanila.
And then the thing is, it's not just Cebu who's going through that. A lot of the teams have actually revamped their rosters, key players moving to other pieces and getting more key pieces in their team. Kaya sabi ko nga, at the start of the season, with all these movement, talent, nandyan na yan eh. But it's the chemistry, getting them to play alongside together would determine yung success nila. And the earlier that they become really good playing together, the better it is for their teams.
26-19. Third quarter now underway between these two squads. Well, Quezon certainly looking like a well-oiled machine already in just their second game of the season. The reigning Southern Division champions want more than just to win their division this year.
Yes, agree. At saka yung sinasabi ni Coach Eric na first to fourth ang energy. Totoo yun kasi yun ang isa sa mga na-pick up nilang lessons from the playoffs last time. When they lost against Batangas in the very first game, nakita nila energy yung naging problema, so binalikan nila na mas magandang energy ng second.
Mark Meneses fumbles the pass from Shaq Imperial. Gonzalez was allowed to get into the lane. That floater is no good. Offensive rebound na naman para kay Joseph Gabayni. That fall-away jumper is short. Fuentes saves it. Fuentes, couple of in-and-out dribbles. The step back, hindi siya mapakawalan ni Mark Meneses. Fuentes has to take it soon. Does so now. That one's off to the left. Meneses secures possession and is fouled by the Quezon defense.
Now, that instance was better defense para dito sa Cebu. Remember, we talked about earlier na mas maganda yung nagiging looks ng Quezon, hindi lang nila maipasok. That time around, out of the 3 attempts, it was only 1 attempt yung malinis tingnan. The other 2 were pretty much well challenged. Pinahirapan talaga nila yung Quezon in that instance.
Kent Holmqvist
There you
finally finds a basket That's his first field goal of the game. Ito si Ken Holmqvist.
And if he's able to do that regularly in this game, that is gonna force the hand of Coach Eri to change up the defense, because you just can't have your big man camp inside and allow those threes.
Only had 2 points in their first game of the season. And there he is stopping that shot by Jason Opiso. Well-timed help from the former FEU big man.
That time around, playing a little 2-man, 3-man action right there. Holmqvist, again, you sag off of him, he takes it, he makes it. If he does that regularly, he's gonna be real good.
Former 3x3 ace as well. Ito si Ken Holmqvist. The stop for the Huskers. Fuentes looking inside. Opiso, elbow jumper, nobody on him.
Yan ang hindi mo matatawaran kay Jason. Yung mga tirang gano'n na non-paint twos. Oh, this again?
Well, he was feeling himself after making that shot early. Thought he could go back-to-back.
Grabe.
He was asking for a 3-second violation against Joseph Gabaini. Jason Opiso knew that the defense wasn't really fully focused, took advantage of it and cut inside.
Yeah. Tsaka ganda ng read ni Jason Opiso doon. McCarthy finally, you'd like to see that more in regularity from McCarthy. That's his first 2 points, 1 out of 3 from the field.
And another offensive rebound here for Quezon, but Fuentes throws it away.
I'd like to go back to sa cut kanina ni Opiso. Ang ganda nun. He read that perfectly well. I see this right here.
Ito na nga yun, Coach.
Oh,
this is our assist of the game brought to you by 1xBet.
Right. He saw that space was crowded, and so he went back door instead of forcing it and filling the corner. And Liam Martel was totally behind him, didn't see him cutting to the basket.
I think that Joseph Gabaini, a very underrated passer.
Agree. Totoo yan. Mas lalo na yung when he position him on the post, he's got those passes inside. That's really good.
Shaq Imperial still unable to connect for the Classic. Diego Dario is back in the game. Dario leaves Imperial. Dario short arms the shot, but blocked on the second serving by Ken Holmqvist.
Again, another situation where Cebu is able to read the attack offensively of itong Quezon. Right there, you saw that offensive rebound by Diego Dario. He's not supposed to get that ball, but he got it. But they weren't going to give him an easy second attempt.
Noticing that they need a punch in the gut in offense. Coach Jun Da Jose and Coach Mike Reyes inserting John Hamon into the game for the first time.
Exactly. And one other guy, that they need right now, I don't know if he's gonna play, is Brian Mecca. He was really good in the previous game. I think he's injured. That's why he hasn't seen him yet.
Also only played in the second half during that game against Caloocan. Really helped Boom Boom Tampos bring itong Cebu Classic from 19 points down against the Batang Kankalu.
Tsaka importante doon, nag-respond si Boom Boom Tampos. Diba? I mean, he didn't shy away from the spotlight.
McCarthy takes it from downtown. That was halfway in.
That looked good too for McCarthy.
Opiso, Holmqvist was late going down. Opiso got him with a fake.
Man, all these curl undercuts by the bigs of Quezon have really made notice the bigs of Cebu to be more aware of where they are. You're the deepest end of the defense. Nobody sees you. And Opiso is just so good at doing that.
Jason Opiso now with 11 points in this game to go with 6 rebounds.
At saka assisted points yan. Hindi yan solo sariling sikap, no? He just keeps moving around.
Hamon gets it to Lepalam at the middle. McCarthy defended by Diego Dario. Rashawn McCarthy kicks it out. Martel the extra pass to the corner. Hamon long on the 3-point shot. Meneses keeps it alive for Cebu. Meneses had a hard time getting it to Lepalam, and Lepalam also couldn't quite get it to John Hamon.
And the more time that these guys spend together playing in an actual MPBL game, hopefully the faster that chemistry builds up for Cebu.
Quezon up by 8. Quick rip through here by Diego Dario. Could not finish at the basket. Big stop here for the Classic. McCarthy trying to drive past Jason Apiso. Met by the help defense of Vince Magbuhos. McCarthy gets it back. Corner pocket 3. Wala. A lot of taps. Ends up with Quezon. The Huskers now will set up their half-court offense. Dario draws the foul. Has not been as easy as in the Batangas game, that's for sure, for Diego Dario.
Yeah, I'm sure after that stellar performance in the first half, he's pretty much a marked guard here. I guess every team has taken notice that that guy Diego is going to be a pain for all of us if we're just going to allow him to be very comfortable on the floor. But the thing that you like about Diego is that he understands, darating yung mga challenge na yan, but I will still be in here competing with you. And the way that he handles the ball, you see, yung vision, ulo nakaangat, looking at the horizon on who else is going to be free, where the next attack is going to be. And mind you, there's still a lot more games that you'll see the stellar play of Diego Dario.
13 points in their last game. That's his first point of this match. But he does have 3 rebounds. Ito si Diego Dario. This free throw brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Boom Boom Tampos, the hero of that game against Caloocan, checks back in.
Yeah, I was going to say that Diego Dario has not made a field goal yet, but so hopefully these free throws start things off for him offensively.
Back-breaking screen set there by Ladis Lepalam on Diego Dario. Lead is 10 for the Huskers. Yan ang hinahabol dito na Cebu. Hamon kicks in out to Manligues. John comes out of the screen. Hamon having trouble against Joshua Yero. Hamon puts it up with a left and draws the foul against Joshua Yero.
Yeah, Cebu right there executing what seems to be misdirected low stagger, where you have one guy going to the corner that happens to be John, but the real guy that leaks out is really Tampos. But they didn't see Tampos, so they went to John. And if you look at the 5 on the floor right now of Cebu, this is a really strong team. I mean, Mark Meneses, Daryl, Boom Boom, Ladis, and even John Hamon. That's a formidable 5.
You just saw the coaching staff right there of the Cebu Classic. Sir Volta Ora leading the way para sa kanyang kupunan. Paulo Hubalde has yet to see action this season for his squad, his new squad, the Cebu Classic. So that's another
that's
point
another
guard
right
added to the mix that already features Daryl Manligues and Saki Imperial. Vince Magbuhos, he was hot in the first half, failing to hit on that 3-point try. Manligues pulls back. Manligues goes back inside. Manligues leans in against Dario. No good. Shot clock did not reset. 9 on the 24. Tampos asks for it. High looper of a 3-point shot. Too strong. Good box out by Vince Magbuhos.
Corners filled. Look at that. You see that? How they filled up the corners, ball side and the weak side. They're just making that middle lane for the ball handler to be operating on and making decisions out of it.
Dennis Santos back in the game para kay Mark Meneses.
Ang daming floor spacers ng Quezon din, no?
From top to bottom.
Yep, agree.
Here's one. Magbuhos decides to put the ball on the deck, the spin. Fast to the corner. Tamsi for 3. Rolls off the rim. John Hamon. Short on the jumper. Good challenge by Joshua Yero. Dario. Back to Tamsi. Same spot. Still a miss. Galing kay Al Francis Tamsi.
Right now, Quezon shooting a very anemic 2 out of 19 from 3. But the thing is, I don't think they're gonna stop hoisting it because that's just a point of attack that they really want to go to.
Giselle Tarosa coming in the game for the first time para dito sa Cebu.
Did not play in the last game.
Indeed. Let's see if he can contribute here against the Huskers. His team down by 8. McCarthy, shot from the corner, no good. Sandagon with the board. Abundo setting up the offense here for the Huskers. Dario trying to go to Sandagon. Magbuhos tried to do the same on the bullet pass.
And just all these man and ball movement that you're seeing from Quezon. A roll and replace with Simon Sandagon rolling and Vince Magbuhos replacing him on the top just allows you a different look if you're the point guard.
Santos short on the banker. Offensive rebound for Ladis Lepalam. Dangerous pass to Tampos. McCarthy recovers. McCarthy finger rolls it for 2.
So for McCarthy, better here. He's got 4 points in the quarter, empty in the first half. And you love that if you're Cebu.
Dario quite reckless there as he tried to go to Sandagon. That's a kick against the Huskers. Lagrama will come in para kay Diego Dario. And sometimes it's not even 5 minutes as you take a look at our MPBL leadership. Commissioner Kenneth Beremdes, Operations Head Emerson Oreta, and Security Chief Rudy Distrito. Sa ating VIP row, 34-28, under 2 minutes to play here in this third quarter.
Para sa 100%'ong pag-unlad, 50 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong pagbabago, 50 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong paglilingkod, 50 si Manny. Para sa 100%'ong Pinas,
50 tayo! 50 si MB! Kahati mo, si Manny!
Jason Obiso, 11 points in this game, 6 coming in this third quarter. He's 5 out of 8 from the field, and he has 6 rebounds as well.
Now this is a far cry from a field goal shooting from the last time, 1 out of 5. Itong si Jason Opiso. And again, medium range, kayang-kaya ni Jason Opiso yan. Huwag natin kalimutan yung putback niya in the Batangas game.
And I'm sure that's something that a lot of the Batangueños still are having nightmares about.
Grabe naman kasi talaga yan. Batangas was looking to close them out at home. But what a response by Quezon. I actually saw 2 facets of Quezon. One was when they won against Batangas, where they were very energetic about it. And the second one was the loss in Pampanga, which you feel na talagang they're on a mission. They want to immediately go to the next season and prove something.
Meanwhile, Quezon committing a foul here.
Baba ng percentage ng scoring ng dalawa. 24 and 21%. I mean, rarely do you talk about that percentage if you're with Quezon, diba? Cebu is a new team, you know. I guess that's understandable because of chemistry, but Quezon to be shooting this low, very rare.
McCarthy finds an opening inside, but bottled up as soon as he got to the basket. It's going to stay with the Classic. McCarthy is asking for a foul. Our referees will not oblige. It will be just a baseline out-of-bounds play here para sa Cebu Classic. There you see he got the ball knocked out of him by Joseph Gabayni. He thought he got hit in the face. McCarthy to Tarosa. Giselle Gets it to Boom Boom Tampus. Shot clock at 7. Tampus able to get that fadeaway jumper. He's fouled. That's going to be 2 free throws para kay Lemuel Tampus.
And you see how they're actually influencing defensively itong Quezon. They're not showing that we're going to make you go right, we're not showing we're going to make you go left. Instead, we're going to anticipate where you're going.
We'd like to thank LGR, the official outfitter of the MPBL. Tampus could not hit on the first free throw. So far, only with 3 points to show for in this game, but he does have 5 rebounds. 1 out of 2 para kay Lemuel Tampus. 4 points in this game. His team down by 5, 34-29. Lagrama. The Gabayni on the roll. Gabayni could not finish. Good job by Lipalam to get it para sa Cebu Classic. Tarosa, cross court, Santos sets for 3. No. Lagrama ends up with it. Bodies on the floor.
Wow.
Viero.
Oh, then take it. Somebody's got to take it.
Lagrama now. Abundo. Back to Topeng. Lagrama. 2 dribbles inside. Floater no good. That's last touch on the Classic. .1 seconds left. About a 7-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Almost a miscommunication there between Gabayni and Lagrama. Lagrama trying to lose McCarthy. Lagrama leans in and draws the foul.
That's right. Good move. Good move right there by Topeng. The moment that you're given that screen, there's 3 ways you can utilize it. One is to use it, refuse it, and reuse it. That time around, he immediately refused it. And since he saw that speed-wise, he's got a faster way of getting there than the defense, he went straight up and refused it.
Lagrama, though, missing on the first free throw. Both teams already above the limit. 11.8 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Lagrama takes the second. 8 out of 16 for the Huskers in this game from the free throw line.
Enough for one more stop here for Quezon.
I'm sorry, no, 9 out of 17. Can the Classic get one final shot off? McCarthy, 3 seconds to go. McCarthy still has it. Shovels a pass. Lepalam, he's fouled. 2 shots